Hello, welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. If you want to join me on my live streams or check out my daily updates, check out the other two channels in my description. But here we go. We're going to talk about, will Cardano be obsolete when Ethereum 2.0 comes out? There was an article about this, and then Charles Hoskinson, of course, vehemently denied it. Vitalik didn't say anything, well, because he's, Vitalik, he doesn't really say the comment or say anything about these things. But let's actually look at the timeline. Cardano is probably going to come out this summer. Now, Shelly is June, Goguen is probably going to be August. And I think that's actually going to happen this time because Charles has been defending these dates, which is something he usually doesn't do. He's usually like, I'm not going to give specific dates and, things are subject to disappointment. This time he is really laser focused on actually delivering on these dates. And the thing is, like, if you look at Cardano development on the GitHub and everything, it looks like it's actually all getting in line, and they have started the beta Haskell testnet with the friends and family. So Ethereum, according to some of the head developer and Vitalik statements, is not going to release 2.0 phase 0 in July. It's going to be delayed at least until Q3, and the head developer said it might not be until Q1 of next year. And now that's just phase 0. If phase 0 has delays, you know that phase 1 and phase 2 are probably going to have delays. So it might be like 3-4 years out before they get Ethereum 2.0 completely launched. So there's like a 3-year window, basically, almost a 3, maybe even a 4-year window between Cardano and Ethereum, which will give Cardano a lot of time to actually catch up. But will 2.0 actually be superior to Cardano? Hoskinson says no, and on the technical aspects, I actually agree with him. Cardano's managed to solve one of the problems that Vitalik's talking about. Vitalik is saying, well, if all the pool, like, what if everyone just joins one pool? What if all the pools are hosted on AWS? Now, I don't really know if the pools being hosted on AWS will be solvable. I think Charles and the foundation themselves will host some pools, and they'll be fairly big pools, and they won't be all on one centralized location. And people can also always host pools elsewhere. But they've also figured out, Cardano's also figured out a very good solution to the problem that Vitalik was saying. Well, what if everyone joins a few pools? They actually have incentivized that smaller pools or less saturated pools actually get higher rewards. So people will want to saturate. People won't want to saturate everything in one pool. People will actually want to diversify their pools or join smaller pools to get higher rewards. And I think that's an excellent way of doing things. Now, there has been some kind of like semi-scandal with a bunch of the pools like joining an alliance, about 10% of the pools joining an alliance, trying to get a mine card or stake Cardano more efficiently. I don't really know if IOHK has actually done anything about that, but just the fact that you can't join super saturated pools and get the same reward will actually prevent people from concentrating in a couple, very few pools. And remember, this alliance only gets about 10% of Cardano's staking power. So IOHK and Charles Hoskinson and Cardano have figured out one of the problems that Vitalik was actually talking about, and that's to incentivize people to not go into the really big pools. Now, aside from that point, I don't really know what Ethereum 2.0 will have that Cardano doesn't. I mean, Ethereum 2.0 will have sharding, but the TPS they actually start with will not be any higher than Cardano's TPS. With Cardano Hydra, they can actually scale up to near infinity. Now, Hydra will actually take a while, I think, and to get all those get all those layers in Cardano, it will take a while, but they should be able to scale up to thousands, if not tens of thousands of TPS within a year or two, which will actually be before Ethereum even starts. Now, it'll take them a long time to get to that million TPS, but we're not going to need million TPS for anything for quite a while. Visa and MasterCard themselves only run about 20,000 TPS max. I think at any given time, there are only about 2,000 transactions per second. So Cardano's transactions per second, if it runs like 10,000 in like 2 or 3 years, it will easily be able to handle most of the world's applications, even for big companies. 10,000 transactions per second is actually a lot. I mean, Bitcoin gets jammed because it's like 7 transactions per second. Ethereum gets jammed because it's 14 transactions per second right now. And sharding won't actually start at like a million transactions per second either. It'll start with like, I think like 64 shards or something, and it will increase over time. And Cardano with Hydra and everything will scale over time as well. These reports of million transactions per second probably isn't going to play out for several years, but we don't really need them, like I said. So on a technical basis, people saying that Ethereum 2.0 will be superior to Cardano once it actually comes out, and it will obsolete Cardano once it comes out. I don't really believe that because I don't really see what Ethereum what features Ethereum has that isn't present within Cardano. I mean, Cardano will have the smart contracts, it will have the scaling, and really it's built on later technology, so it should actually be even better than Ethereum. I mean, it does have, you can do layer 2 scaling on it. You can do payment channels on it. You can basically do anything that Ethereum can do. A lot of the other platforms may not have smart contracts, but Cardano does actually have its own smart contracts. So I think there'll be really nice competing platforms, but I really don't think 2.0 is going to obsolete Cardano because 2.0, I guess, like, if it came out right now, I think everything could be on it, and I guess other mainnets would be obsolete. But the thing is, if it doesn't come out in, like, if the full thing doesn't come out for another 4 years, there's going to be a lot of companies on the other platforms. Now, eventually, there's going to need to be something like Cosmos to interoperate all those different platforms, because different companies are going to choose different platforms. Not all of them are going to be on Ethereum, and not all of them are going to be on Cardano. That 3 or 4 year window is going to give a lot of companies the opportunity to get onto Cardano on a better blockchain. I mean, New Balance is already on it, and so are several countries with MOUs in Africa. So we'll have to see how the adoption war works out. And I think for the next 3 years, it'll actually work in Cardano's favor as they get more and more clients. And I don't think when people look at the competing technologies of Ethereum and Cardano, I don't think they'll instantly say, oh, 2.0 is much better than anything Cardano's got. Because 2.0 is several years from arriving, and even when it does arrive, it doesn't really look like the technology is going to be that superior. They might be pretty equal, but they won't be really superior. And one is going to come before the other. So I don't believe Ethereum 2.0 is going to obsolete Cardano. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comments, like and subscribe, and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.